Choose your fighter.
When I roar, everyone wanna remember my name. Big Smoke.
Who's this? But who's that? Who's this? But who's that? Who's this? How about who's that? Who's this? Who's this? But who's that? Kick back, I got kick back. Big racks, I got big racks. Big bags, I got big bags. Kick back, kick back.
Choose your fighter.
When I roar, everyone wanna remember my name. Big Smoke.
Who's this? But who's that? Who's this? But who's that? Who's this? How about who's that? Who's this? But who's that? Kick back, I got kick back. Big racks, I got big racks. Big bags, I got big bags. Kick back, kick back.
Choose your fighter.
When I roar, everyone wanna remember my name. Big Smoke.
Who's this? But who's that? Who's this? But who's that? Who's this? How about who's that? Who's this? But who's that? Kick back, I got kick back. Big racks, I got big racks. Big bags, I got big bags. Kick back, kick back.
Choose your fighter.
When I roar, everyone wanna remember my name. Big Smoke.
Hey, it's Christina V, and you need to subscribe to Sojan and Camy's channel, or in the name of Mars, I'll chastise you! Bye!
Alright, hello people, we are now live. I am here with Camy.
Chala, hey chala.
Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. It's just, I just realized, like, within the past, like, handful of years, we lost, like, big content creators, basically big anime creators and manga creators.
Don't call them content creators.
Sorry, manga creators, forgive me, cancel me, alright? But manga creators, we lost the creator of Berserk, which really affects Derpy more than anybody else because I've never watched Berserk before. But I am willing to give it a chance. And then we lost...
I'm actually going to be watching that with you.
Yeah, I'll watch it with you. It's very dark. It's very bad.
I know.
Like, very, very, very dark. But after him, not even a year later, we lost the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I don't.
Did the original Yu-Gi-Oh anime like end? Because like I see so many spin-offs.
I believe so. Yeah, the original definitely end.
I never like watched the final episode of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, there was just like future generations that came forward. But anyway, while we do our little podcast here of just discussing our history about, Dragon Ball as a whole, and, not just all that, but, just in general, just talk about Akira Toriyama and anime in general. Like, we could talk about whatever we feel like it. I'm just going to go ahead and play Dragon Ball FighterZ in the background, so don't mind me and my terrible lack of skills, because I haven't played this game in a while, but I'm going to continue it anyway from the last time I played.
How is this different from any playthrough on this channel? He's like, forgive me, I'm rusty. Like, it's absolutely garbage at the game.
I haven't touched this game in so long. But I only have like 23% completed of the story, and I bought like all the characters back then.
You bought them because you couldn't unlock them with just hard-earned
To be fair, there are 2 characters you can unlock early that I chose not to unlock early.
Yeah,
okay?
that doesn't make you look even better.
either way, I forget how all this works. Where am I?
Don't ask me. I never played this.
I think this is me. I think. And that's my team down right here. Okay. Fuck. Okay. All right. Let's just get started with the discussion.
Yeah. Let me get to the
I'm gonna go fight Jeets real quick. I'm just gonna go fight Jeets. But you can read the live chat in the meantime before we get started.
I'm burping so much. So we got J Roxas and Derpy in the chat. J Roxas says, "Hey,
what's up?"
Derpy says, "Ahoy! How are you two today?" I'm
tired.
alright. Yeah, we're both tired. I'm honestly like recovering from being a little tummy sick yesterday, and Sojan's just tired from work.
Yep.
J Roxas says, "Chala, hey chala." Nothing more iconic. Honestly, like, I feel like I should change my ringtone to Chala Head Chala, just, for this year of the Dragon, to honor Akira. I feel like that'd be, like, a really cute little thing.
The Hispanics be like Chancla, Head Chancla.
Yes! That's the Hispanic mom version. But yeah, it's so funny. Like, I love the TikToks where it's just, like, the Latin community mourning Akira Toriyama. It's like, no. He meant something to them.
Yeah, exactly. Just gonna lower the volume in the main game. We're really not gonna pay attention to the story.
Yeah.
If you ever really want us to play this on the channel someday, like
join the
Discord and vote eventually, because this is among the many games we have listed on there. I have it digitally, so if you ever want to see like us play it, you can always vote for it in the future.
Yay.
But continue with the chat. Excuse me.
So Derpy says the first manga I ever read was, and I still own, is Sandland, Akira Toriyama's Sandland.
I can't wait for that game to come out. Like, when that game comes out, I am buying it.
J-Roxa says he's the "how's my swimming" meme.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my god, from Golden Boy, where he's just drowning,
Yep.
and then he looks over at the teacher like, "How's my swimming?" He's like all smug.
Also, just letting you guys know, footage is fine. It's just, for some reason, Dragon Ball FighterZ on the Switch is really bad.
Oh god.
The loading times are horrendous.
Oh no.
So, this is normal. Don't get me wrong. This is not connection or anything. This is just actual, literal performance right now.
Wow.
When it gets to the fighting and the actual in-game play, it's not bad. But it takes 5 years to load. This is why I don't play it on the Switch anymore.
Yeah, you need to buy it for the PS5.
So, yeah,
It's gonna load, it's gonna be a blink and you're already in it.
Yeah.
Like, that's gonna be, how fast performing the PS5 is gonna be.
I'm thinking about getting it again for the PS5. This is just bad.
Yeah, it's very bad. Derby says Kamehameha.
Nice. But anyway, so yeah, talk a little bit about our history with Dragon Ball. My earliest memories of Dragon Ball, I'm not gonna lie, I think I was in the 4th grade, I believe. Yeah, I think I was in the 4th grade. And keep in mind, before I ever, like, experienced this, like, my idea of cartoons in general were, like, old-fashioned cartoons, where everything was literally just a one-off episode.
Mm-hmm.
So, you better believe 6-year-old mind was blown the fuck away when I saw, like, the Cell Saga on TV. I was smack middle into it. I had no idea who these characters were. I didn't know what was going on. To give you context of where I jumped into Dragon Ball, it was right when Piccolo was arguing with Camy to fuse together. I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah,
but I was like, bro, this is cool.
That is such a weird, like, spot to freaking, like, jump in.
And then my mom's like, oh, that's pretty cool. I like how episodic it is or whatever. She never got into it, but I was the one who got into it. But I was, like, in and out with the Cell Saga at the time. I wasn't, like, hooked until like, the Other World Tournament came up with PyCon and the Buu Saga came up. Then I was hooked. That was when I actually really got deep into it, when I was, like, in the 5th grade or so and forward. And every time I visited my dad, I begged him to get me, like, the next, like, VHS and all that crap. And we
Back in the day.
Back in the
we're
day.
old.
Yeah, we just freaking watched the crap out of it. All the way through the Buu Saga, so that's why the Buu Saga to this day is my favorite, and it's impacted me as a person. And eventually, years later, I went backwards and revisited the whole series from the original Dragon Ball, and I'm thinking to myself, like, man, the original Dragon Ball's good, and I'm just terrible at this game. Anyway, I just died.
Of course.
But yeah, I'm barely even trying here.
Of
But
course.
yeah, all in all, that's where that's how I basically got introduced to Dragon Ball. I was all over the action figures as a hyperactive kid. I will say I had an auntie who is no longer with us anymore. But at the time, I remember her seeing me beat up the toys, like, really fast, going, like, really fast. And then she just looks at me, and she literally called me the inappropriate version of special. So,
oh my god.
she's like, what are you, that? And
Wow. Such a wonderful thing to say to a child.
I know, I didn't care, though.
It was a different time.
It really was.
Different time. Anyway.
But that's my overall history with Dragon Ball and how I got to know all that, so.
Just the way you're speeding through this dialogue right here.
I'm not even paying attention.
You're just speed running this cutscene right now.
The story is not that good. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was paying attention to, like, the first amount of it. It's Fighter Z, it doesn't have a good story. So what is your history, Camy?
So I'm gonna get into my history.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew Dragon Ball Z was, like, a thing. Like, I knew that other people watched it.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, like, once I caught it, like, very briefly on TV that, like, some other guys were watching. Like, it was, like, a neighborhood friend of mine. I don't remember. It was, like, a neighbor friend of mine. Like, he was a little boy, and, like, excuse me, his older brother were watching it. And it was like, I can't recall if it was the Frieza Saga or if it was Cell Saga. It was something in those zones, and, like, at the time when I was watching it, I just could not connect for some weird reason. Like, I don't know what it was, but I think it might have been the Frieza Saga, but I couldn't connect.
Yeah.
And so, like, I just let it go. And what was funny was, growing up, my mom ended up hospitalized a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to go into exactly what it was, but, you know, she had, like, you know, some serious, you know, conditions that didn't let her work very often. And so, you know, she would need to be hospitalized and monitored. And so, you know, most of my childhood has literally been, like, in that gameplay of... Life is Strange True Colors, like, where it had the flashback of her with her mom in the hospital and everything like that. Like, my childhood was like that, where I would just, like, sit by her, keep her company, you know, in the hospital room and just watch whatever was on TV whenever she was, like, sleeping or resting. And since I had, like, so much downtime and we didn't have smartphones back then, and So I had my, you know, my notebook to do homework, and, you know, once my homework was done, I would just watch whatever cartoon was on the TV.
Yeah.
And I put on Cartoon Network because I couldn't find anything good to watch. And Dragon Ball Z came on, and I'm just like, oh, okay. And then it was the Buu Saga, and it was in the middle of like them leaving like the tournament to go like fight Babbidi's minions before Buu awakened. It was like in that kind of like state of the series.
Yeah.
And I saw like Gohan, and, you know, he's, you know, a teenager, much more adult, like all grown up. And I, you know, kind of like remembered like, oh yeah, like when I watched the show before and I couldn't connect with it, Gohan was still a child.
Yeah.
And so like I was watching, you know, Gohan all grown up, like, you know, fighting and everything. And I would honestly say that Teen Gohan, like from the Buu Saga, was my first anime crush, because like I was just really hooked on, you know, like the whole thing. Like I was really disappointed that Gohan did not become the next main character after Goku.
Yeah.
Like, they tried to pass the baton, but then gave it back to Goku, like, psych.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I actually connected with Dragon Ball Z because of, you know, teen to adult Gohan. And ever since then, I was hooked on the show, and I wanted to watch, like, the rest of the Buu Saga, and then you know, the way that Toonami kind of had the block is that they kind of did a bunch of reruns. So I was actually able to catch up, you know, and rewatch this series from the very beginning. And and ever since then, like, I was just invested because I wanted to see, you know, how Gohan, you know, grew up, like, throughout the whole duration up until the point where I first started seriously watching.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I had to get the VHSs with my dad, just to be able to rewatch all of it. But eventually, like, as I got older, my mom convinced me to get rid of them all. Oh, and I'm like, damn it, I really wish I still had them, though. Because that was, like, Bruce Faulkner type of music back then.
I had, like, only, like, a handful of DVDs. And when I say a handful, like, literally, like, 5 or maybe 6, maybe less than 5. Because I knew how freaking big of a series Dragon Ball Z was.
Yeah.
So I could never actually pour money into owning the official release. So I, back in the day, you know, like the heyday of YouTube, you know, AMV like territory, like so many people would upload the episodes so you could just watch them.
Exactly.
And that's how I would watch them.
That makes sense.
Anyway, let me get caught up here. Derpy says, my earliest memory of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z was probably getting sent a Dragon Ball Z abridged clip and doing voice impressions of the characters with my friend. Yeah, I feel like Dragon Ball Z is Dragon Ball Z abridged is its own thing that I want to touch on, but like we're going to put a pin in that at the moment.
Yeah.
Let me just get all caught up in the chat here. Dan says hi. Hi, Dan.
What's up, Dan?
Derpy says, the only thing I also remember is going to a ramen shop that had a Goku ramen challenge, and my friend and I ate 50 bowls in total, 25 each. Oh my god. You were not pooping that night, were you?
Nope.
Derpy says, I think the biggest thing that I liked first was when I heard characters died, and when I saw the death of Raditz, I was excited until I saw that they could just wish them back, and I was like, well, that's dumb. Derpy says, I also think my first Dragon Ball game was one on the GBA that told the story of the original Dragon Ball. I remember it was the first anime game I had 100% beat. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
I love the Legacy of Goku games. They were fun. I actually played them with a friend of mine because he was a big like Dragon Ball fan. Derpy says, I kind of felt like Goku should have stayed dead since I don't like the 2 OP main characters. Yeah, like, I feel like OP main characters can be fun, but you have to do them right, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you need to, like, do shit with moderation when it comes to an overpowered character. J-Roxa says, I remember starting roughly around Frieza Saga, but all in Spanish dub. Hell yeah. Telemundo. Retro Gamer says, hello everybody, I recently got a copy of Dragon Ball Advance Adventure for the Game Boy Advance. Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's actually a really good one. I kind of want to see that come back to the Switch. It's a straightforward, like, side-scrolling fighter game.
Oh, I didn't know that. Dan says, probably earliest memory of DBZ was watching a few episodes of the Cell Saga on Toonami with my older brother. I couldn't get to see every episode, but thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really, got hooked because of the Boo Saga. Like, it's very near and dear to my heart. It's aggravating as heck because of how long it takes.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's still near and dear because that's where I fell in love with the series. And then, like, when I did the backtrack and I started rewatching from the very beginning, I'm just like, yeah, like, once you actually start from beginning and follow through, like, the whole course of the journey is, really fun. And it was very different at the time from a lot of, cartoons that we would watch. Because the very first anime I watched was Sailor Moon. And so, Sailor Moon had a lot of death in it.
Yeah, it did.
It's like you would think, oh, it's a magical girl show. Like, nothing bad happens. They die a lot.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of death.
There's a lot of death.
But, when it came to Dragon Ball Z, the fights were a lot more gruesome. Like, there was, like, dismemberment, explosions, like, the deaths, like, impalement, like, it was just a lot heavier, content. And it just, like, I was just all in. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Let's do this. And it's so funny, too, because when it comes to, like, fandom, like, actually, like, participating and being, like, a kind of like a fanatic and talking to other people who love the same stuff in the community, Dragon Ball Z was the very first fandom I was a part of.
Right.
Like, my first fan fiction I read as a child when I could, like, actually have access to a computer was Dragon Ball related.
Yeah.
So it's just, like, it's so amazing, like, how that can just influence your life.
Exactly. And I kind of also want to talk about, like, the biggest moments of, like, the entire series that kind of hit deep. That's still, like, I guess made a big enough mark in my life to this day that I'm like, man, I've never experienced this before in any other, series or, show or movie for that matter. And one of the biggest ones was revisiting, the series from the beginning like it was intended to for the first time. And it was just that one, out of all the moments of Dragon Ball, like the original Dragon Ball, the biggest moment that hit me the most was seeing that little time skip where Goku was finally growing up. And it's like, crap, this is hitting me deep, like he's actually getting older. And then when finally getting to this, with Saiyan Saga, seeing him with a kid, it's like, bruh, he was just a little freaking monkey boy like 5 minutes ago. Like, what happened? Like,
now he has a Nino.
Now he has a Nino. But
I feel like the fact that it's gone on for so long and literally like generations, like, because it's been over 2 decades since it's inception. So it's just like, it's literally it's carried generations. Like, it started out with Goku, then we had Gohan, and now we have Pan. Like, it's throughout the entire course of, like, the franchise. It's like you pass that on, and you, like, the time has gone on in order to, like, incorporate more people. And I just think that's great, because there is one piece where they do have a time skip, but it's not a significant one. It's not one where, like, all the Straw Hats all have kids now. It's just like, no, like, they're still young, but there's just a lot to do.
Yeah.
But when it comes to, like, Dragon Ball, it's like, yeah, no, like, we got older, we got kids now, like, it just, it's all a matter of, like, the whole way that it's different and it was handled.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it just makes it even more timeless in a way, even though it seems really ironic to say it's timeless.
Yeah.
But it just feels much more impactful knowing that you grew up with this and the characters grew up with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I watched Dragon Ball Z before I watched Dragon Ball. So watching Dragon Ball, like essentially I watched the series almost in reverse.
Yep.
So I watched Boo Saga, and then I went back. I saw Dragon Ball Z from the very beginning all the way up until the Boo Saga, and then I watched Dragon Ball from the very beginning on.
Yeah.
And I really love Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball was so freaking fun. Yeah. Like, and it just, it was its own thing, but it was fun. Like, consistently fun, and, like, you can't touch it. It's just great.
You really can't. And then one last thing I do want to share that was a very impactful thing for me in the series is the reason why I love the Boo Saga so much. It's like, bruh, as soon as Kid Buu was revealed, it's like he was the first ever to successfully destroy the Earth.
Yeah.
No one else ever did it.
Yep.
He was the first.
Yep. He was him.
And he did it without a reason.
Yeah.
He didn't. It's he didn't have a reason. He just destroyed it to do it.
He did it for the lulz.
Yeah.
It just as Alfred said in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight, some men, Master Wayne, want to watch the world burn.
Exactly. A little freaking demonic bubblegum.
Mm-hmm.
It was a phenomenal character.
Little hubba bubba.
Demonic hubba bubba.
Little hubba bubba child. Anyway.
Oh god, that killed me.
Anyway.
Alright, you can read the live chat while I'm bad at this game.
Anyway, okay, so Derpy says that was the game I was talking about, Retro. Retro says, awesome, I really love that game so much. I watched all of Dragon Ball Z, including the beginning of the Saiyan saga.
Yeah.
Derpy says, I still remember when Bobobo referenced Kamehameha, I legit thought DBZ stole it!
Oh, that's funny.
Retro said, my first anime was Yu Yu Hakusho. That is a GOAT
Nice.
anime. That alone,
Very nice.
deserves its own podcast,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I need to rewatch it, because I actually
love
could
Yu Yu
never
Hakusho.
finish it. I
Yeah.
watched a good chunk of Yu Yu Hakusho, I could never get the final season. And
Yeah.
it's not even, because I didn't want to, it's because I didn't have access.
It's kind of like with Inuyasha as well. I got
Yeah.
far and I just
Oh
stopped.
my god, I loved Inuyasha as well. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Anyway, J-Roxa says, my first American anime was 100% Sailor Moon and Pokemon back to back before school. Yeah, I got that same block too.
Yeah.
Derpy says, I mean, Sailor Moon got nothing on Berserk. I turned out fine. I twitch, lol. There's a lot of trauma in Berserk, Derpy. J-Roxa says, but before that, all Spanish dub at Grandma's. Stuff like Dick Dastardly, Flintstones, Jetsons. Eventually I saw Cardcaptor Sakura and Corrector Yui. Nice. Derpy says, I think the only moment that will stand out is Boo helping the blind kid. Oh yeah.
Oh
that's
yeah,
right.
I really love that little moment. It was cute.
Yeah, it's so funny because, Dragon Ball Z was just that shonen. It was like that game changer shonen that just blew everything out of the water in terms of international exposure.
Yeah.
It had all the tropes that carried into most modern shonen nowadays. And obviously, unfortunately, one of them is the filler episodes. And a lot of people, a lot of anime fans are like, oh, filler. Majority of the time, they don't really care. But there are some good fillers out there. And I feel like while Dragon Ball Z, this isn't actually necessary or canon, there are some filler episodes that I will never skip. And one of them is the Triverse episode.
Yeah. But I have to throw in a little something about that kid with the milk. It's not as wholesome as you remember it.
Oh god.
Because basically he's looking for some milk. And Boo flies off to a distance and turns a random guy into milk and brings it back to the kid to drink it.
Oh my.
So the kid was drinking a man who is now milk.
Oh
and
my god.
And then eventually it ends off with Boo with an inflated ego saying, "Oh, I'm a superhero," and he flies away and he leaves the kid by himself in the mountains, and the last thing you hear the kid saying, "Boo, don't leave me here by myself. The only thing I had to eat was an onion." That was it.
Oh my god!
It's not as wholesome as you remember. I'm not even kidding.
Oh man, I forgot how messed up that was.
Yeah, it's still fresh in my memory.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Anyway, let me catch up with the chat here. J-Roxa says, I love how Camy skipped to Pan. Fuck Goten. Listen, Goten is my boy. I love him so much. But I was talking about generations, J-Roxas. I'm talking grandfather, son, and then the daughter of the son. Okay? Goten is Goku's other son. He doesn't count as a whole nother generation. He's just the generation that Gohan belongs to. Okay? So, yes. I will never forget and not appreciate my little boy. I love him very much.
Yes.
Anyway, Derpy says, if you could bring back one villain as a hero, who would you pick? Raditz. He is the most wasted potential as Goku's brother.
I mean, yeah.
I easily, like, that's my first, like, you didn't even have to, like, wait on my answer.
Let's be real. We need our Nappa. We need our Cheetah.
Yes! Okay. You know what? Fair. It's a tie.
But you know what? Fuck it. Both of them.
Both of them at once.
Both of them.
At once.
At once. That is fine. We need a whole family of Saiyans.
Yes.
Just please.
Please. Like, I want to watch, like, a spin-off of, like, Goten with his, Saiyan uncles.
Yeah.
Like, I need this. I need it so bad.
So, for those who don't know about Fighter Z, yeah, apparently they created a new android who looks like a big booba female version of Majin Buu. That is all you need to know.
Yeah, because she's like Cell, but, like, instead of Frieza's DNA, she's got Majin
Buu's DNA. It's a weird story.
It's a very weird story.
If I ever play this on the channel, I promise I'll try to get at least the PS5 or PS4 version.
And supposedly the android was also modeled after Jiro's wife.
Yeah, something like that.
Like, there's some lore behind there.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Derpy says if you... Oh, sorry, yeah, I already got that question.
Excuse me.
Yeah, Dan also watched Yu Yu Hakusho around the same time as DPC back in the Toonami block.
Yeah.
Julian's in the chat. What's up, Julian? He says,
up?
good to see you guys again. Retro says, I wish I can subscribe to you, Dumality. It's like, yes, you can. You can subscribe to Dan.
He's got a channel.
He's got a channel. He's got music.
He does, like, music-related stuff.
Buy his album.
Yeah.
Come on. Shameless plug.
I've actually used his music in a lot of my videos, and I always plug in his stuff whenever I do my edited things.
He's also got, some albums that he's been meaning to sell. So if you would like to purchase.
Pangepedia Plus.
There you go.
You like Edutation early 2000s?
Edutation.
2000s and 90s type music. That's exactly what it's called, Education. Yeah.
You like flutes.
You like flutes.
You're gonna love this.
You like reading Rainbow. Okay. Just minus the beautiful lyrics. You know what I mean?
Anyway.
Yeah.
Purely instrumental. All educational. Yeah. Anyway. Derpy says, Goku Black caught me off guard.
Yeah. It was an interesting character.
Dan says at Retro, I don't make vids on Dumality channel anymore.
You have your other one, your Daniel White one. You can check in my description right now, actually. If you scroll down and go to the admins part, you'll see Daniel's channels down there. Go where it says Daniel White, and that's where he posts his music.
Yep.
So.
Click
but
on
Dumality is more of a personal account he has.
Yeah. This is his shits and gigs account.
Yeah, basically.
Anyway. Retro said the final season of Yu Yu Hakusho was amazing, and the main protagonist ends up going to the human world and seeing everybody again.
Oh, okay.
My favorite animes to watch back in the day were Pokemon, Beyblade, Digimon, and many others. I miss Beyblade, because I could never consistently watch it, but I did enjoy the time that I spent watching it when I could, actually watch it.
Yep.
Derpy says, you guys ever see Dr. Slump? No, unfortunately I have not.
You didn't see Dr. Stone. I love Dr. Stone.
He was talking about Dr. Slump.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Dr. Stone is very good.
Yes.
Dumality says, no, but the manga always looked interesting with Dr. Slump.
I was just going to say quickly, speaking of, older anime, I'm really excited for the fact that Rurouni Kenshin has gotten a reanimation, and I really, really want to see it so bad.
God. Yeah, that's going to be on our list. We need to really revamp our anime watch list, because I feel like ever since we took on One Piece, all the other series we've been watching have been taking a back burner.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jerox says, damn, she said other son. Well, I'm sorry, that is his second son. I'm sorry that if that gives you a complex or something wrong.
Yeah.
Spanish John. Retro says, my favorite show that I liked to watch back in the day was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's kind of why, I was actually a really big fan of the Power Rangers growing up. And I actually, like, fun fact, one of my, like, first costumes that I really, like, loved as a kid when I went out for Halloween, I think it was the only costume that I got to, like, I think it might have been the first costume that I ever got to pick for myself. Because every other year, my mom would dress me.
Right.
And then, so, like, I actually got to pick one year, like, you know, I, like, what do you want? And I'm like, I want to be the Yellow Ranger!
Yeah.
So I went as the Yellow Ranger, my sister went as pink, my cousin went as blue, the other one went as red.
Okay.
Like, we all, like, went together to go trick-or-treating as the Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
Derpy says, don't forget, Akira also made Chrono Trigger and Dragon Quest. Yep.
Yeah.
Big respect on those games.
Chrono Trigger, please, for the love of God, if anyone's watching, we need Chrono Trigger on the Switch. We got Chrono Cross. I'm fine with that, but it's like it wasn't good. It wasn't a good port. We need Chrono Trigger. It's the better game.
J-Roxas is nah, Goten way younger than Gohan. He's Trunks' generation. Yes, much like Super Saiyan, Vegeta took longer to produce his offspring. They're still technically, like, within the same generation. Because it's just, like, father, son, grandson / daughter. You know, like, that's how generations work.
Exactly.
But yeah, I understand. There is a very big time gap between them. Honestly, I think that's kind of why I liked Gohan and Goten the most, though. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Trunks. Yeah, Trunks was another favorite character of mine.
Yeah.
But I really love the dynamic between Gohan and Trunks because their age gap is very similar to the one that I have with my own sister. Because my sister was, like, significantly older like Gohan was.
Yeah. And speaking of Trunks, like, my God, I really, really loved Trunks' future Trunks' backstory.
Dude.
My God.
Dude, like, I already had enough childhood trauma. But, like, I would willingly submit myself into watching History of Trunks and getting traumatized all over again.
I know. I love it so much.
It was so dark and bleak, but, like, it did have, like, that little, like, essence of hope at the end. Literally, the word hope is on the time machine.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's just like, damn, like, there's something so iconic about that special in that origin story that's just, like, nothing, like, touched, you know, your heart more than that. It's just like, hey, you know, this cartoon that you love, like, all these heroes that you've, you know, grown to love and, like, watch for, you know, this many years, guess what? They're dead now.
Yeah.
And then, like, this kid is, like, the only survivor. And it's just like, what? And, like, be a child at that point and be told all of that information.
And it's like, what I was really expecting a similar thing with Dragon Ball Super bringing him back and was excited. And then we were just all blue balled at the very end.
I have to admit, that right there made me pissed off with Super. Like, I wanted to quit Super after that. I didn't care for what they did with Mai.
Yeah.
Like, I just, like, you know, like, the fans have been wanting, like, Trunks to find somebody. That's not what we were expecting. No one asked for this. Yeah. And it's just, like, I understand, like, Akira Toriyama was, like, lazy. He wanted to bring back Pilaf and everything like that. But it's just, like, dude, give Mai a daughter that looks just like her, like a carbon copy, like Goten is to Goku. But, like, you know, give her a little daughter like Maiko or something. Like, you know, just, like, you know, name her very, like, close to Mai or whatever and have her look like Mai. But it's not Mai at all. Because it's less creepy than having a 40-something-year-old woman be aged back into a child and then be romantically paired up with said child. Like, no.
Exactly.
I can't, no. Nope. She is old enough to be your mother. Older than your mother, Trunks. Oh, my God.
Exactly.
It just kind of icky for me. It's like, it's not even the benefit of, like, it's not even the same as having, like, an immortal, like, you know, being, like, an elf or a vampire in love with somebody that's younger than them. Like, because it's just different because it's like you started out old, but then you regressed, and then it just feels ickier. Yeah. Somehow. I can't explain why, but it's ickier.
It's the same type of people that like that stuff are the same ones who basically shipped frickin' Tenchi Muyo and Ryoki or whatever her name was. Ryoko, the frickin' 1,000-year demon or whatever.
Yeah, let's not talk about Tenchi Muyo because I feel like we're gonna derail the whole conversation.
I know we will.
Yeah,
Let's just dodge that.
Let's put a pin on that because like that is his own can of worms of ick
really
that I don't
is.
want to touch. Because I'm not saying it was bad. Like it was interesting to watch, but it's just like there were just too many problematic elements.
Yeah, I will say this though. You know, obviously, you know, rest in peace. You know, Akira Toriyama. Like what he has done is very impactful, and you know he will be forever missed. My only thing is I'm seeing a brighter future with potentially I forget the other guy's name. Toyotaro.
It's so funny because my friend, like, she called me after I told her Akira Toriyama died. She freaking called me and she's just like, yeah, you know his successor, Totoro.
Totoro? What? the wrong cartoon. This ain't Ghibli.
I'm like, Toyotaro! She's just like, yeah, Totoro!
Anyway, back to what I was trying to say before I lose my train of thought there. The Toyotaro legit did stuff that made the series better, and he actually made, you know, just stuff that normally Akira Toriyama wouldn't do on his own. So I do have faith, and I do have, like, you know, a positive outlook that at the very least, if he takes over, the series is fine. The series is going to be good. It's in good hands.
Unlike Akira Toriyama, Toyotaro remembers a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So I feel like moving forward, the series is still gonna be better than ever. Of course, it's not gonna be the original vision.
Yeah.
It never will be again.
Yeah.
However, moving forward, I feel like Toyotaro can easily wrap up the series really well.
Yeah, I want to see what he has to offer. Because, you know, he's been with the project for many years now. I think we're going to be in good hands.
Yep.
Because, I mean, if Akira Toriyama himself gave him that blessing, then, like, let's honor that memory.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like, you know, anybody that, like, is too harsh on Toyotaro, like, they need to, like, calm down a little bit. Just wait and see what he does.
Exactly. Just wait and see. It's just, like, not a big deal either way.
And, you know, it's okay if you want to be a purist. Like, if you want to stop it where Akira Toriyama stopped, that's fine, too.
Yeah.
But it's just, honestly, I'm so in love with the franchise that I want to see what the future has in store.
Yeah, it's just like me with Naruto. I stopped after Shippuden, and I refused to acknowledge Boruto. So yeah, we will move on from that. Put a pin on it, throw it away, because we're not going to dive into the Naruto cesspool.
We're not pulling a pin on that grenade. Anyway, J-Rox, no wait. Derpy says, did you guys ever make a DBZOC?
Yeah, I have a long time ago.
I feel like we all have in a way.
I don't remember anything about that. That was like years when. That was when I was like a teenager.
It's so funny because just like it was like the first fandom I was seriously into, but like I never really had like a serious one.
Yeah.
You know, like
Mine wasn't very serious either.
Yeah.
I remember him now. It was.
I love the. Wait, can we appreciate the tone shift? Mine wasn't very serious. I remember him now!
Okay. So,
memory unlocked!
So, he was a Saiyan, and his name was Chester. Don't ask me. Do not ask me why.
Is it because you watched too many AMVs with Linkin Park?
I don't freaking know, okay? And here's another thing. He was a cat. He was a Super Saiyan cat.
So you're saying your OC was a flaming hot Cheeto cat.
Yeah. It all started when I was in the 5th grade. I'm not even kidding when I tell you this. I was that young.
God, it sounds like it. It freaking sounds like
and it kept going. It went on until the 7th grade. Like almost 3 years of comics I drew. And then when I revisited those comics, I'm like, oh god, this is cringe. I threw it all away. I hated it when I saw it. But then to this day, I'm like, damn it, I really wish I could revisit that though. Because it was that bad. Like Teen Titans lore got in the midst of this. It was bad.
That was your version of My Immortal.
It really was, and I'm kind of glad I threw it all away. My God, it was horrendous. It's like, just imagine, you know the cartoon Cat Scratch?
I like
that type of art style.
Yeah.
Just imagine them with Super Saiyan hair. That's what it was. That's what it was. And really bad drawings of muscles on a cat.
Oh my god.
I was a weird child.
Oh my god, that was funny.
I was a very weird child. But hey, it brought out my creativity. And then in high school, I finally actually wrote a good story that I told you about. But it's just like, it came from that bullshit to writing better shit down the road.
Yep.
Damn it, she made Nappa a fucking cupcake.
Freaking Chester, though.
It might have been...
All names.
It might have been the singer from Linkin Park. Because I was obsessed with Linkin Park back then.
It's like, immediately I made that connection. I'm like, is it because of the AMVs that were playing at the time?
Probably.
My favorite... Oh, like, let's actually talk AMVs for a moment.
Oh, God.
Like, do you remember a very specific AMV that you would, like, watch over and over again?
Yeah. And I'm gonna make a certain someone in the chat not like this because he hates Sonic the Hedgehog. Who gives a fuck what he thinks about that? But it was an AMV with Shadow the Hedgehog. What was the name of that? I think it was Hoobastank. Or it was playing a song called "I've Been Changing, But You'll Never See Me" or something like that. I forgot the name of the song. But it was just that song playing over like some Shadow the Hedgehog like fighting scenes or whatever from Sonic X. I don't know why, but I was obsessed with that as a teenager. For no dumb reason. I think it was like 12 or 13 years old.
Oh, The Reason by Hoobastank?
Yeah, I think so.
I found a reason for
No, that's not it.
Then it wasn't Hoobastank that you're thinking of.
I don't remember. It was one of those old, like, 2000s, like, rock music. You know what I mean? Like, just, I don't remember.
When I asked you that question, I was thinking, like, a Dragon Ball Z specific AMV.
Dragon Ball Z specific?
Yeah.
Not really, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay, so I have several, believe it or not, because oh my god.
Are you okay? You started choking out of nowhere. You know you got a drink right there, right?
Shut up.
Just take a quick drink. That might save you from dying by choking on your spit.
I just had like a lot of grease build up in the back of my throat. Anyway, I followed a lot of like people closely on YouTube that made AMVs back in the day.
Yeah.
And one of them, like, back in the day, they actually celebrated, AMVs and, like, would enter them in competitions for, like, Comic Cons and stuff. Like, I wouldn't be Comic Con exactly, but, like, the anime cons, like, at the time, they would actually have, like, showcase for media like that. Mm-hmm. And one of them that got recognized, especially by a website that would honor that, was The History of Trunks, and the song was Boulevard of Broken Dreams.
Okay.
There was that one, and then I remember I even downloaded it because it was that good. Mm-hmm. It was also History of Trunks by Myself by Linkin Park.
Okay, yeah, no, that one I remember.
Yeah,
okay.
Don't you?
Yeah, that one I used to watch the shit ton of.
It was so good.
I remember that one.
And then there was one of Gohan with Breaking the Habit.
Yeah, I remember that one too.
See, like, I'm bringing these memories back.
Because I knew they were Linkin Park related, but I just didn't know which songs they were.
And you wanna know what was so funny too? Like, they actually did like a little like Easter egg of that in the Cell Saga DBZ Abridged, where like Gohan actually recites the lyrics of a Linkin Park song.
I remember that.
He's like, I'm one step closer to the edge and I'm gonna break.
That was funny.
That was so good. I freaking love that. Okay, let me keep up with the live chat.
Yeah, go ahead and read that.
Oh my god.
Why does he want me? Okay, whatever.
Alright. So Julian says, I was Blue Ranger for Halloween, and I think Sojan was Red Ranger once.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
I love how we were both Power Rangers at one point for Halloween. Just like we both used to work at Subway, but at different points of our lives.
Yep.
We just have too many things in common.
Yep.
Anyway, Retro says, I was the White Ranger for Halloween that one time when I was in elementary school. I just love that we're all coming together as Power Rangers.
Yep.
It's morphin' time.
It's muffin time.
Muffin button. Derpy says, do you have Xenoverse 2 by any chance, Sojan?
No, I do not. It's one of those games I've been debating whether I want it or not. I'm not too sure about that one yet.
Derpy says, this older woman mother stuff reminded me of why I hate Fatal Frame, lol.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know anything about that, but like, I'll take your word for it. Derpy says, I will say the one thing I will always raise an eyebrow at is Krillin asking if Android 18 had, well, you know. I mean, it's a legit question, you know? He wants to know how much of her is robot and how much of her is person.
Exactly.
Tyrone is in the chat. He says, I'm a real Saiyan, no clickbait.
Nice.
We'll take your word for it, dude.
That kind of reminds me of the kid who actually legit tried to become a Super Saiyan on YouTube, and he was just screaming into the camera, and someone actually like edited the thing and gave him like Saiyan aura and everything. It was awesome.
I love that. I love that the community can do that for people.
Yep.
Dan says, oh wow, I remember him talking about Chester. I don't know if I saw any of the comics he made.
The more I'm thinking about it, it's actually more wholesome than you think. It's not because of the lead singer. Now that I remember it, I used to have a cat named Chester.
That's right.
Yeah, and we had to give him up because my mom couldn't afford to take care of him. So
That's how you process that loss as a child.
So I'm just like, I'm gonna make him a superhero in a comic, damn it.
I will immortalize my cat.
Yeah.
And make him a Super Saiyan.
But he was a jerk. I missed him. Like, he used to... I told Danny about this.
It was a toxic relationship.
It really was. That cat pissed all over my Beyblades. And all over my Beyblade arena. I was so mad.
I'm sorry, but you need to realize how hilarious, out of context, hearing you say that cat pissed all over my baby.
I was like 8 or 9. I was a kid, okay? There's like nothing worse than pulling out your freaking Beyblade arena full of Beyblades and it's just soaked in piss. Like, I was so mad. But man, I cried so hard the day we got rid of him. Excuse me.
That cat pissed all over my baby.
He did. He was a jerk.
Somebody put that in the quote.
Please. Please. Do it now.
Whoever's on Discord, put that in the quote.
If any of you are new to the channel, subscribe. Hit the bell icon and all notifications. Join the Discord in the description below. And quote me on that if no one else has done it. There is a quote channel.
I can't wait to have that channel be so full that we can compile them and just read them in an
We just do a live
video.
stream where it's just like an hour long of just revisiting them.
Yeah, we're just reading shit out of context that we said.
It's like, bro, I don't even remember saying half this shit.
It's like, oh shit, I'm really funny.
Alright, let's see. We were live an
There's
hour.
still more comments though.
Over an hour ago, so not too bad. Getting slashed up.
Can you pause it and turn on the lamp, please? It's easier on my eyes this way. Thank you. Oh my god. Okay.
Oh, speaking of like childhood stuff as well. So yeah, the Go Tanks here reminds me of the fact that like I used to know a kid back then that was really not good for me as a friend, and he was a thief. That kid would steal stuff like from Walmarts and Targets and shit, and not even blink an eye about it. And
Everything I got, I stole.
like he would just steal. He would steal crap all the time. So
stole it.
he convinced me one time, and keep in mind, like I said, at the time I was probably like 7 or 8 years old, and so he convinced me to steal a toy that I really wanted, and I'm like, I don't know, I felt bad about it, and then he's like, go ahead, steal it, it's easy. So I just I opened up the packaging, I hid the packaging, and took the toy with me. And then, like, I'm looking at this toy, and it was the Super Saiyan 3 Go Tanks toy, that, like, this one. And so I was just looking at it, and I was like, I just felt so guilty. I went to my mom the same night. I'm like, I stole this, and she's like, you what? And I'm like, it was that kid you introduced me to. So it's like, in other words, it's your fault, Mom.
Yeah. Why can't you vet your, my new friends?
Yep. So I just told her about it. I said I'll work for free, like I used to help her around the salon, like sweeping the hair and folding towels to make tips and buy my own stuff. That's how she got me to learn how to work and everything at a young age. And so for a while I did that for free to pay her back for buying it for me, because she made me find the packaging I hid, and then she went with me through the line
to the store.
She told the store clerk what happened. She bought it for me, and I'm just looking at this toy, and I'm like, this is the weight of my sins.
Look at Go Tanks. Remember your sins.
Literally.
Okay, let me catch up with the chat now.
Done. The story time over.
Anyway, Derpy says, I had 2 OCs, one called Cherry. She was from a different universe where instead of vegetables, they were named after fruit. Yeah, like Frieza's men were named after fruit, but only like a couple of them actually like, were obvious. Like other, names are kind of butchered or like moved around, so it's not as apparent.
Yeah.
So I only found out until much later that like Frieza's men were named after fruit.
Yeah.
The second was Master Key, an old man capable of doing one-handed Kamehamehas. Oh, badass.
Nice.
Derby says, which one from Cat Scratch do you want me to add a Super Saiyan hair to for a nice meme gift?
Pick like the skinniest dweeby one.
Dan says Crossfade. Oh wait.
Yeah, Crossfade. Yeah, Crossfade. Where we get the song starts off with "I've been changing, but you'll never see me," and then I don't remember the rest of it.
Was it Colors?
Crossfade. So Far Away. That's the song.
It was So Far Away.
Yeah,
okay.
that's the one. I rewatched that video like to high heaven. That, and then Daniel knows this more than anything because Daniel knows about my cringe past as well. I used to watch the shit out of like Super Smash Brothers Melee AMVs. And I discovered a band called Zebrahead. And I think it was called I forgot the name of the song. Damn it! I used to play the shit out of it too. It was another one of those like musics that I used to like listen on repeat back then. I don't remember the name of the song, but it was a band called Zebrahead.
I remember my friend, like the one that was like a big Dragon Ball fan at the time. He had like an Apple computer with like iMovie and shit, and he actually made an AMV about Vegeta with Crossfade's Cold to it.
Nice.
It was really good too. Like
Crossfade is just a good band.
Yeah, it's a really good band. Anyway, Derpy says, fun fact, I never actually saw an AMV. I grew up in the era, but they never actually intrigued me. Man, where were you living under that rock, Derpy?
YouTube was a thing. That's all we had to watch.
Exactly. Dan says, holy shit, I found the AMV.
Nice.
Post it on the Discord in the anime section.
Do it.
Do it. Dan says, oh, you talked about the cat peeing in your Beyblade set during the Pseudo-Rogalia Dan Plays episode.
Oh, yeah, we did talk about that once before. Yeah, we did.
Dan says, my cat peed all over my drawings and art books, so don't feel bad.
That's even worse.
Yeah, that's much worse.
Oh, my God.
Much worse. Because when it comes to Beyblades, if you have money, you can replace that.
Yeah,
you can't replace your art.
Or you could take them apart and disinfect them like
Exactly.
like my mom helped me do.
Yeah.
But it's like drawings, nah,
No,
forget you.
like-
There's no getting that out.
Yeah. Anyway, Dan says, LMAO, I know of this shoplifting story. Yo, I stole this from Target.
Yeah, no, the kid brought up like a random Suicune toy. He's like, yo, I stole this from Target. He was a bad influence.
He was bad.
He really was.
Bad to the bone. Julian says, Sojan, remember when you said you know what a Homo sapien looks like, but wonder what a heterosapien looks like?
Oh, yeah. My mind back then, as a child, I was very special.
Didn't you used to like call West Union Bank West Onion Bank?
No, okay. Alright, we really gotta dig up into my past now. Alright, so I used to mess with my mom. There was like there was a bank that used to be called First Union. And I knew that's how it was said. But I purposely tell my mom it was First Onion. So she thought I was a dumb child. And I told her, nah, I used to say that on purpose because I thought it was funny.
Mm-hmm. So you tell yourself.
No,
I'm
legit.
just kidding. I'm just getting on your case. I'm just busting your balls just like that ball.
That ball right there.
Yeah. Anyway, Derpy asks, what color was Chester, like fur and eyes?
I think by default I just made him like gray. Oh no, like the actual cat. I thought you meant the cartoon.
Well, you can answer for both.
Well, the actual cat himself, he was pretty chunky. He was like a black cat with like
I
white
was just
spots.
about to say chunky's not a color.
But either way, he was. I'm trying to describe him as a whole.
Okay.
He was a chunker with a skunk-like tail, and he was black, and he had like white spots. He had a white skunk tail,
Okay.
and white like shoes and everything.
So he's an Oreo cat.
Kind of like that, yeah. And at the cartoon, I just made him gray for some reason.
And what color were his eyes?
I think they were yellow.
Okay. And what about the eyes on the cartoon?
I just kept them brown.
Oh, okay. Retro says, my cat peed all over my Game Boy games when I was a kid.
No!
I felt so bad and I started to cry. Aww.
That's terrible.
That's really sad.
I swear, if I hear someone say that their cat peed on their Pokemon cards, I will cry for you.
I know, right? There was, I don't remember who it was, but there was somebody I grew up with who had the pieces of Exodia back in the day. Like the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, like, for Exodia. And legit, like, someone, like, put, like, no, I remember the story. So you know how, in the show, like, Yugi fucking lets, like, that little, like, dweeb, like, you know, weasel, like, not weasel, Beetle boy, like, fucking hold the cards, and then he just yeets them overboard?
Yeah, I remember.
My friend lost them in a similar way, but instead of, like, you know, like, having someone fuck him over, he was at a pool party, and he was, like, showing off the cards.
Why would you show them off at a pool?
Because they were playing them at the side in the table when it was all dry and shit. But he forgot that he put them in his pocket before getting in the water.
That's terrible.
So he lost the Exodia pieces like Yugi did, but like from his own dumbassery.
That sucks.
That looks delicious. I love how we're just speeding through.
Yep. I really don't care about the story of this game.
I know. And Frieza's dead, thank God.
I'll start taking this game seriously when I get it on the PS5. I don't remember if there's a PS5 version of this game. I think there is.
Derpy asks, his eyes were brown, light or dark?
I think they were like a lighter yellow.
Lighter yellow? Okay. Alright, let's get back into, like, you know, the franchise itself. Like,
yeah, let's try to wrap things up, too, because it's been over an hour, and I do got to get up at 3 in the morning.
yeah,
so.
I know. And I've got a cat on top of me.
And the cat's right on your whole existence.
Oh my God, why are you heavy? There we
I
go.
know y'all heard that.
Okay, that was her her quota for meow, like 1 meow at least per stream. Oh yeah, let's just like close out with some basic questions.
Shut up, Cece. She's in the other room just being a complaining hoe.
She's honoring Bibe's memory by meowing and being an attention hoe. Anyways, shush! So how about let's answer like who our favorite characters are, or like and who our favorite villains are, and like I don't know, like least favorite characters maybe.
Alright, how about we start off with like favorite male and female, like good guys, male and female villains.
Mm-hmm.
And
there aren't too many female villains, which sucks.
And then least favorite character of all time. So I
Alright.
guess I'll start off with those. I guess my most favorite male character for sure has to be Gohan, just because at first he doesn't start off strong at all.
No.
But like his development is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it had so much promise, but then they threw it out the window.
Yeah.
Which freaking sucks.
I feel like if you love Gohan, like you realize it's not him, it's the writing.
The writers.
Yeah.
And I get a little freaking
Chaozu
here. But anyway, so yeah, favorite female, hands down. Camy knows this. It's where my type of woman has developed from.
The blueprint.
The blueprints, Videl herself, after she got her hair cut. Because honestly, when I saw her at first, I wasn't digging her, and then when she got her cut hair, when she got her hair cut short, I'm like, she's kind of looking dope. Anyway, so moving along. Favorite villain, as far as male villain, I have to give it to Kid Buu. Like, out of all the Majin Buus and everyone else, I just give it to Kid Buu because he's just pure malice. He doesn't have a reason to destroy anything, but he just does. He's just like, he's smiling like Chaozu here while he burns your village. And he pees on your freaking grave. And, so I don't know, he's just one of those villains that I love. Favorite female villain that became a good person, I have to give it to Android 18. I really loved her as a villain.
Oh, yeah.
She was great. And then least favorite character of all time, I have to give it to that stupid fucking bunny rabbit villain from Dragon Ball. I hated him. I hate him with a fiery passion. I want to pull his ears out. I hate him.
I don't even remember him.
That's the thing. You'd be glad you don't remember. He was just one of the worst. I hate him.
Oh my god.
Anyway, but yeah, you go ahead.
Okay, so favorite male character, like it's so funny because like I would have to award it to Gohan because he was the first. Like he was the very first character I fell in love with. And then like it kind of shifted like over time because then because when I started watching the series, like I said, like Gohan was a teenager and Trunks was Kid Trunks, like I didn't know that there was a future Trunks that was much older and handsome, so I fell in love with Trunks afterwards. And then like the time skip when like they become teenagers, like shortly, like I also like loved him and Goten, and like that love also transferred to Goten as well. So it's like I ended up loving all three of them. But, like, now I want to kind of, like, settle the love back to the OG, which is Gohan. And, because his development...
Oh my gosh, you're so cute!
Ah, look at it! They're so bite-sized. I love them.
I know.
Anyway, so, yeah, I want to give that back to, Gohan because still, out of all the characters, he's the one that's grown up the most.
Yeah.
And, I'm just so proud of him that he is a good dad and he's a good husband and a good dad now. He has a job. Like, Chi-Chi's so proud of him. Like, all that studying paid off.
Yeah.
Good for Gohan. I love him very much. But, like, I have to give a runner-up, a serious, like, runner-up position of favorite male character to Piccolo.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like adulthood and maturing is realizing in that debate over who is, like, best husband and father, Piccolo.
Yep.
He may have been your father, but he wasn't your daddy. Like, he's Green Dad, and I love him. But yeah, honestly, and I'm not shitting on Krillin. Krillin's amazing. Like, he's also an amazing husband and father. but it's just he's such a minor character, even though like he is very crucial to the plot in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, my top favorite Gohan runner-up is Piccolo. And favorite female character? Damn, that's a really good question. I would have to say Bulma.
Yeah.
Like, I love Bulma so much because of just how much the story literally went on with just, because of her. Like, she was the driving force.
I will say I started to like her more later, but, like, in Dragon Ball, she was really annoying.
Oh, yeah, no, like, she was, like, very damsel-y and everything like that, but I really loved her in Z. Like, I just love that she's mellowed out, like, she became a mom, but she was still smart, she was still useful, like, she was a girl boss through and through the entire show, like, they would be nowhere without Bulma, and I love her.
Yeah.
I do like Chi-Chi too, though. Unfortunately, like I said, like, it's not the character, it's the writing. And, unfortunately, there's not really much for Chi-Chi to do, in terms of story, which is really sad. Because I really liked her in Dragon Ball, like, when she was a teenager. Like, that specific point in the series where her and Goku were fiancés and, like, on their way to, like, get married. Like, I honestly would have watched an entire season of just them. Like, that was honestly a very good point for Dragon Ball. I really liked it.
I agree.
But yeah, first female favorite character would have to be Bulma. And the second, I actually really, I did end up enjoying Videl a lot. I'm also really saddened that she got sidetracked a lot, like, sidelined. Yeah. But, she had a lot of potential.
I agree.
And favorite villain, Android 18 as the favorite female villain, definitely hands down. She was amazing. I loved it when she broke Vegeta's arm. He needed that. He needed that. He needed to be, like, braked off like a Kit Kat bar. Anyway. Favorite male villain, though? My God, that's such a good question. So we had Frieza. I really don't like Frieza. Like, I understand.
Frieza's alright.
Like, I understand he's, like, scary, but, like, he wasn't scary. Like, if that makes sense. Cell horrified the crap out of me. Like, honestly, like, if we're talking about the scariest villain, it would have to have been Cell. Because of, like, Imperfect Cell just absorbing people. That was creepy as fuck. Like, the way that, just nothing left but your clothes.
Yep.
Like, damn, But in terms of, like, should we count movie villains or no?
Yeah, we can if you want to. If it helps.
I'm honestly really happy that Dragon Ball Super, like, revamped Broly into, like, not being a villain anymore, because he was one of the weakest villains. But, like, I'm happy that they, they made him, like, a misunderstood, like, hero character, and, like, they let him have his own autonomy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a villain that would have definitely been very interesting to follow if they gave him, like, more to do and more time. Like, if they gave this movie villain the Broly treatment, I would really go see a movie about Turles.
Yeah.
Turles was very interesting because he was just one of those very few Saiyans that got to escape the destruction of Planet Vegeta. He became, like, a space pirate. He has his own crew. He, freaking grows, like, fruit that sucks the life out of planets. Like, that's really interesting. Like, I want to get into that lore even more.
Yeah.
But yeah, like,
cool.
So, favorite canon villain would have to be Cell, but not really because, like, I love him. It's really because, like, he was the one that scared me the fucking most. Okay, let me catch up with the chat here. Derby says, also yellow normal Super Saiyan hair, or was it a special color?
I mean, in the
on Chester.
It was yellow.
It was yellow. Okay. Derpy says, my least favorite character in total was Tien. I just never cared for him. I mean, like, he did come in handy, but, like, he was never really anyone's favorite, and it's because...
I liked him as a character. It's just, they didn't do much with him.
Exactly. It's just, like, he came in handy in a few moments, but it's just, like, he's just there. Like, there's nothing really too special about him.
Exactly.
Derpy says, well, I regret nothing. Memes joined his Discord to see.
Oh, God.
So he posted the Chester pic. Derpy says, my favorite villain was Mercenary Tao. Least favorite is Tien again. I think the one character I wanted to like more was Oolong, but he just felt so off. Oolong was... He's an outdated character.
He was great in Dragon Ball because he started out as a villain, but then you realize he was just pretending to be a big villain.
Yeah.
But it's like he had such wasted potential. You could have used him at any time to help you against other villains to confuse them. Like shit. Like, I don't know. Let's say you defeat a certain character, like one of the Saiyans, and the Saiyans, you know, at the time of the Saiyan saga, cannot sense each other's energy. So you just have, like, Oolong, pretend to be freaking Nappa for, like, 5 seconds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just scare Vegeta. Make it look like he came back from the dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like they could have done something like that, but no.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Dan says the Cell tail thing was weird and nasty, and I didn't like watching that as a kid. I mean, yeah, it makes everyone uncomfortable.
Yep.
Derpy says, I also think Zeno was kind of cheap because, well, you know, we have to have the main characters win.
Yep. Anyway, I'm going to leave it off with this because we need to wrap things up. I do got to get up early. I'm going to leave it off with saying what our most favorite Dragon Ball movie would be, and including our least favorite movie. I'm going to start off with my least favorite movie, and that is going to be the one with Janemba, the villain.
Really?
And I hated that movie. The reason, and here's the reason why.
Okay.
I'll keep it very simple.
Okay.
He was just a regular guy. Not like some villain who's about to murder anything. He was just some slack-off worker with headphones on who wasn't doing anything with his life. Just a shitty worker who deserves to get fired. And then fucking chemicals just get absorbed into his body, and he becomes this fat glob that I can only describe as an Urgle, like the character from the game that Captain Derpy's voicing. And then he just turns into this badass Cell-looking villain. And I'm just like, I don't like this. I don't like any of it. And then when they finally fuse Gogeta together, I'm like, okay, whatever. He's like a mid version of Vegito.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care for that movie.
It really was just a mechanism to give us Gogeta.
And we would never, I'm sorry, canonically, Vegeta would never agree to do that stupid fusion dance.
Yep.
Y'all forced him to do it in the movie in
Yep.
an alternative universe.
Yep.
That was not the Vegeta we know. Anyway, best Dragon Ball movie. I have to personally give it to, you'll agree with me, Dragon Ball Super Broly. I fucking loved it.
Yeah, we watched it in
theaters.
theaters.
It was phenomenal.
We went and we saw it in theaters.
Oh my god, I love that movie.
Yeah.
That movie was just great.
Oh man.
I loved it as a whole.
Yeah. I also really enjoyed Battle of the Gods. Like that's like
It
a
was
runner-up.
good.
That's a runner-up
It
for
was
me.
a runner, yeah.
Like it's it's just like it was a fun time.
Yeah.
I think it was a fun time.
Exactly.
But the top one definitely Dragon Ball Super Broly. That was just mwah, chef's kiss. I love the nuance it brought. Like it was the fresh coat of paint the franchise desperately needed. Why are you making him spin like a Beyblade?
Beyblade.
Let her rip.
So wait, which one is your top favorite movie again?
Okay, so my top favorite is, I agree with you, Dragon Ball Super Broly, because it's the fresh coat of paint, like that we've been waiting for as fans. Like it's new. We got Chile, like she was such a great addition, to the character and like of Broly, like with his background and everything, and like you get to witness Broly like escape like the abusive hand of his father. Like I really just I overall loved it. It's definitely something we needed. Runner up, like this isn't really a movie, it was the special. It was History of Trunks. Like I said, that trauma just sticks with you.
Yeah, it really does.
But yeah, it's just I loved it. I loved History of Trunks because it was just so bleak, but then it had that little glimmer of hope at the end. So it's just like it's so, I don't know, there's just something so nostalgic about it that I'm very attached to. And I also love the adult Gohan in that special. Mwah, delicious. I don't care if he's missing an arm. I will take all of him. Anyway.
And what would be your least favorite movie?
My least favorite, that's actually a very good question. So here's the thing. There are so many people that hate Bio Broly. And, like, I understand why.
I understand why,
why.
I kind of liked it.
Believe it or not, like, you cannot be my least favorite Dragon Ball Z movie if there's stuff in there that I like.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like, I actually liked certain things about Bio Broly.
Yeah.
And one of them is that Goten uses his brain.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like, hey, there's lava, there's water, you know, like, duh, like, it'll put this out. Like, he's actively, like, using his brain, like, and, you know, stepping up to being, like, a hero.
Yeah.
And, so the least favorite one, honestly, it would have to be World's Strongest. Because I just don't care and remember anything for that movie.
I don't remember anything.
Exactly. And so,
I gotta look this up because I don't even... I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember.
It's like one of, like... I wouldn't say chronologically the first, but it's, like, takes place, like, in the earliest, like, period
Strongest?
of... Yeah, Dragon Ball Z. It was, like, it takes place, like, timeline-wise, like, very early Dragon Ball Z.
God, I don't remember this movie.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember seeing that. Yeah, that movie was trash.
Yeah, it's like the freaking brain robot.
That movie was trash.
Yeah, no, it was garbage.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like, if you can't remember it, if you can't make a lasting impact, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, I love that Dragon Ball Z Abridged, like, actually did something funny with it, you know, so it's actually, you know, less work to get through. But yeah, no, it's just, if I could ignore that movie altogether, like, yeah, like, I would throw it into a black hole. But yeah. So, yeah, those were our choices. Let's see here. Let me catch up with the chat. What?
I see the fucking meme. Where are those Beyblade Sojan?
Anyway, okay, let's see
I
here.
probably won't use that. I might use it. I don't know.
Derpy says, I never liked the DBZ movies because they just felt like what if stories. I mean, yeah, that's essentially what they were. They were non-canon cash grabs until Battle of the Gods. Battle of the Gods was the first canonical movie that Akira Toriyama, like, gave his thumbs up on. Like, yeah, Beerus is canon, this is canon, like, you know, just, you know, deal with it.
Yeah.
Derpy says, I will say #thank you Akira because his impact will never be forgotten. Yeah, I mean, we really dived in deep into our childhoods, you know, really by sharing, you know, how much of Dragon Ball we've consumed throughout our lives.
Exactly. And all in all, like, you know, at least we got the original series, you know. I personally... My weird way of revisiting Dragon Ball, I love rewatching the original Dragon Ball as a whole. It's phenomenal. Dragon Ball Z, I rewatched the original Dragon Ball Z all the way through once, and I'll never do it again. It's too long and horrendous, which is why I'm truly grateful for Dragon Ball Z Kai. It is much shorter. It is much better. But up until the Cell Saga, I for the life of me cannot watch the Buu Saga in Kai. I don't like the choice of music and score from it. It just doesn't feel the same. So my weird way, my weird way of doing it, I literally watched the original Dragon Ball Z Kai from Saiyan Saga all the way to the end of Cell Saga, and then I jump into Bruce Faulkner with the PyCon and other world tournament thing. Even though it's non-canon, I love it still.
It's a good filler arc.
And then Buu Saga all the way to the end with Bruce Faulkner music. That's just how I do it. It's my weird way of doing it. I love it as a whole.
If you ever need to poop, you just put on YouTube Bruce Faulkner Super Saiyan 3 theme and just let her rip. Nothing will motivate you more than to go further beyond. Derpy says we need Omega Shenron, please. What?
What do you mean?
Oh, like a revamped villain? Because honestly, that would be good. That would be good.
There are some things about GT that I will say, and I'm not going to go in it right now because I'll talk about it forever.
Yeah.
But there are some things in GT that I do agree we need to revisit in Dragon Ball Super, which would be phenomenal, and Omega Shenron is definitely one of those.
Yeah, Baby was horribly executed, but a very good idea.
He was a good idea.
In theory.
In theory,
his name is stupid, though.
Oh, yeah, no.
Please give him something other than Baby.
It was so dumb. But other than that, if you're going to bring at least one thing back from GT, Omega Shenron is
easily.
definitely easily the best.
It's the culmination of
Yeah.
every wish, throughout the entire series.
And Super Saiyan 4, in my opinion, is cool.
Oh, I actually love that. Yeah. It's a good design.
It's a good design, but I personally think that should be the actual true Super Saiyan God that was prophesized.
Yeah,
you know
in
what
Battle
I mean?
of the Gods.
In Battle of the Gods.
Yeah.
So that should be the true Super Saiyan God form or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe with actual red hair like Gogeta looked like or something.
Mm-hmm.
A number of ways they could redesign it, but just keep the core awesomeness of that. I know that sounded very middle school me when I said that. But yeah. Either way, thank you everyone for joining. You guys are awesome. This was a fun podcast.
Yeah.
I wish I could continue to talk more, but
I laughed so much.
it was fun revisiting our childhoods and just talking about stuff in general.
And you want to know what's the sweetest part that I want to leave off on?
Uh-huh.
It's the fact that like growing up, the thing that made me fall in love with the whole franchise was Gohan, and your first anime crush was Videl.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry guys, is there any further proof that we're soulmates? Just thought I'd let y'all know. Anyway.
Yeah, because like Camy can kick my ass and she's got short hair. Like, bruh, like I had a type and
short hair and can fight me? Yes, please.
But either way, thank you guys so very much for joining. This was a lot of fun. If you want to see more podcasts, more live streams in general, definitely subscribe, hit the bell icon and all notifications if you want to be notified when we go live. If you're new, like I said, like the video. When you subscribe and hit the bell icon and all notifications, you will be notified with everything. And if you want to be a closer part of our community, you can create a free account when it comes to Discord and join our Discord in the link in the description below right now. You must be 18 years of age or older to join, and please read the rules and regulations and be courteous as you come in and don't spam. So, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned till the following weekend, where we will resume our live stream with Final Fantasy 16 and potentially Final Fantasy 1 Pixel Remaster, where I'll be playing that by myself on Sunday. Thank you guys for joining. You guys are awesome. Stay safe.
You're breathtaking. Jerby says subscribe to them. They are my bestest friends and awesome. Thank you.
Alright. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. Bye-bye.
Bye.